in getting back to basics, what do you think Ben Graham would have said about derivatives?
He would not have liked them. I think he probably would have said pretty much what I said back in 2002, that they pose a real risk to the system. They cause leverage to run wild. They cause counterparties to sign up for things that may be difficult to achieve under certain circumstances, that they place an already fragile economic system, added strains on them which can pop up in unpredictable ways. But he would probably also say if he saw something that were mispriced, he would act accordingly. But he wouldn't get himself in a position where the problems of the people who didn't act prudently could cause him any problems. And I think that probably would be the answer. One basic problem about derivatives, there's several problems. I mean, after 1929, Congress met. There was a PCORA committee and so on, and they decided that it was very dangerous to let people borrow a lot of money against securities, and that it contributed to the Great Depression. And therefore, they said the Federal Reserve should regulate how much people could borrow against securities, and it was important for society. And the Federal Reserve started requiring margin. They had margin requirements. Those requirements still exist. You are not supposed to be able to borrow more than 50% against your securities. Actually, during one period, they went to where they didn't. The Federal Reserve allowed no borrowing whatsoever. They went to 100% margin. But derivatives came along and just turned that made those rules a laughing stock. You have what they call total return swaps, which means you can borrow 100% against what you own. That goes way beyond anything that existed in 1929. So derivatives became a way around regulation of leverage in markets which, like I say, Congress felt was important, and the Federal Reserve still has a responsibility for enforcing. Derivatives also meant that settlement dates got pushed out. One of the problems in securities markets comes about when you have a trade today. If you didn't have to settle it for a year, you'd find it very hard sometimes to find a person on the other side. And derivatives allow these very long settlement periods, whereas security markets demand them in 3 days. There's a reason they demand them in 3 days. As you extend out periods, you get more and more defaults. So they're a danger. They are a danger to the system. There's no question about that.